What is up, guys? We're going to be talking about the things that you should know before moving to Utah that you might not think about or might not even know. So let's get right into it. So the first thing that you should probably know is us Utahns speak totally different than probably most other cultures. For example, I'm out here in the mountains, right? First word you probably will recognize from Utahn saying is mountains. Not mountains, mountain. Another word that you probably will not know what people are saying is Layton, or the city Layton. Utahns have a weird way of saying things, man. Another thing that you should know before moving to Utah is the national parks are gonna blow you away. You know, they're absolutely gorgeous, not like anything that you've ever seen before. Another thing that you should probably be aware of before moving to Utah is if you don't like the outdoors, then Utah may not be the place for you. I mean, we do have Salt Lake, but city life is just not necessarily prevalent in Utah. So if you are not a super outdoorsy person, you might have a hard time finding some things to do. So Utah has a unique food kind of scene and things that you probably are not familiar with. When you come here, you're going to hear Utahns talking about specific foods and famous foods for Utah. So number one, you got fry sauce. Fry sauce is mayonnaise and ketchup mixed up, and we dip it right in our fry. Number two is funeral potatoes. What are funeral potatoes? Like, come on. Funeral potatoes are just cheesy potatoes that people tend to take to funerals. Just what Utahns end up calling it. Number three is Jello. Utah's infamous, famous Jello. If you're at funerals, you're gonna see Jello, you're gonna see funeral potatoes, and you know, at restaurants, you can actually ask for fry sauce and they're going to have it. Another thing that might influence someone moving to Utah is the unemployment rate. Utah is extremely low on that side of the unemployment rate. So Utah has a lot of opportunity for jobs and people to go to work. Utah's known for its famous snow, isn't it? So if you aren't a winter cold goer, a winter sports enthusiast, then you might want to reconsider coming to Utah, because about 4 or 5 months of the year we got snow, cold weather, and you know, it just may not be the ideal place for you. Another thing that people are pretty worried about or think about before moving to Utah is how many Mormons are really in Utah. You know, statistics show that about only 62% of the population of Utah is LDS or Mormon, which isn't super high considering that everyone knows Utah as the Mormon state, you know? So if you're coming to Utah looking to start a business, it might be the place for you. Utah has very limited regulations towards small businesses, and the infrastructure here in Utah is just one of the top ones, and businesses just continue to come to Utah, and you know, it's a great place if you're looking to start a business. Now we're on to the fun stuff, the fun little words, the fun sayings that you're going to hear Utahns say all the time. Now, the one that you're going to be hearing is, oh my heck, or we're going to the steakhouse. Steakhouse? That is not what you're going to be thinking. It's not where people are going to eat steak. It is a religious gathering place for the LDS community. Another one is going to be the Holy War. It's not actually a war. It's a rivalry between the University of Utah and BYU for the title of who has the better football team in Utah. One that you'll often hear is the word powder. It's not like the actual powder or things like that. It is referring to the snow that has fallen here in Utah, because we're known for the best powder, the best snow on earth. So when people are talking about powder, most likely they are referring to the snow. Another one that you're going to hear is the word slots, or like when you're in a conversation, people are going to be talking about going to the slots, right? It's not the casino. They're not going gambling. They're not going to the slots, but they are referring to the slot canyons in our nature where people like to go hiking, and they're super narrow canyons that people like to go through. So Dirty Coke, infamous for its famous Utah moms. They love their Diet Coke, but it's pretty much just putting syrups or sauces or other things in their Diet Coke. But Utah moms are famous for their Diet Coke. And lastly, parades are one of the biggest attractions here in Utah. If you don't like parades, if you don't like the crowds, then you might want to reconsider. But these are some of the things that you should be knowing before coming to Utah that might catch you off guard if you already have moved here from out of state, or you're thinking about it. Just some things to be wary, things to think about before coming to Utah.